Hello and welcome to the channel again. I'm so excited to have you guys back for another video. Yes, this might look very familiar. Yes, it's a part 2 of a previous Princess Start video. So we're just gonna get into it immediately. This Princess Start ends at the half length point, but this still works for a gown, a blouse, depending on how long you created it, that you always start from the bottom. So now I'm just trying to piece one side to the center, to try and see, which ones actually fit in. And then when I figure out which ones work for it, I'm just gonna start joining from the bottom. All right, so now I'm just making sure to align the underbust with the underbust and the half length with the half length, because I already went ahead to put the interlining and everything, so the fabric might have shifted a bit, so you have to be very careful when ironing that. And then I'm just going ahead to join it. Now when joining across along a curve, because it's not straight, you have to try to you have to make sure to sew as slowly as possible and align everything, carefully. This is one of those slow and steady wins the race kinds of sewing. You don't want to rush. You want to be as careful as possible, making sure that it is half an inch throughout and it's equal, because that's what's gonna make sure that your skirt that aligns with your princess that at the half length. So you have to make sure that everything is arranged properly. Another way to do this is to mark the dart points. I will do that in another video. This was taken before a subscriber asked for that, so I'll do another video showing how to align but the dart points for the top with the skirt. I'll make sure to do that, so just stay tuned for that one. If you noticed, the shoulder was larger than the dart. That has already been taken into account by the amount of allowance we left. We left 1.5 inches allowance. So that has already been catered for. So when you are done with everything, you're just going to trim off the 1.5 inches. Or you measure out your shoulder and then trim out the excess you get. So now I'm just going to do it for the second part, and then I'll show you when we get to the back. So at this point, you can see that the princess that has already come out, like the shape is out already. So now we're just going to go to the back. The same principles apply, sewing from the bottom and then going to the top. And I just wanted to note that I had to retrim the pattern from the other video because a little bit of the breast pocket was still showing, so I reduced the shape a bit. If you notice, it's a little straighter in this one. So yeah, so that's one thing you have to look out for. You have to really check and see how the shape is. You can see there where I'm just retrimming it and trying to make sure that it's in the shape I like or the shape I want, because at the end of the day you don't want it to budge, to create a bulge at the back. I didn't mention this in the other video, so I'm just gonna say this here. For some other people, instead of like retracing the princess dart for the back, what they do is to just create a straight dart. Now that works, but I don't like that it's not showing a curve at the back as well, so I don't really go for that. But I could do a tutorial on just like but it's just very simple. It's just for you to create the back dart, back pattern, and then instead of trimming out the curve, you just create a normal dart. So there's really nothing serious. But if you want me to give you a tutorial on that, I'll show you. But I prefer for the front and the back to have that curve, because that's the whole point of the princess. That I guess I'm a little extra, but that's just me. So of course the same thing. So I think at this point I'm just gonna do a sew along, because it's I'm just gonna make it faster. What's it called? I can't even remember right now. Oh, time lapse. So I'm just gonna do that so that we can get ahead. Yes, so I already went ahead to join the neckline, the sides, all those things that I know that you guys know about, and I've ironed them. So the next thing is to retrim the waist part. But the thing is, I already did that and I didn't know it was recording. Like I said, I'm getting the hang of filming on my phone, and like, because sometimes I have memory issues. So I just wanted to still show you. I went up by 1.5 inches from the zip part, and then I just created a curve to meet the waist. So that way the length is still the same, and I'm also removing the excess part for the zip, so that it doesn't create a bulge at that waist part. That thing that comes out. We all know that stuff. So to quickly point out, if you notice, the zip is straight. The zip part right now is straight. That's because the when I attach the zip to it, that's when I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch on both sides of the half length, so that I can still create that curve that I did in the pattern. So if you're wondering about that, that's it's when I attach the zip. I think in a blouse tutorial I showed that. So now I've gone ahead to join the shoulders, and I've pinned both sides. So now I'm just gonna measure out the bust area to now deduct the allowance from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out the whole bust area to the back, then deduct it, because the back and the front are not equal, so you can't just go straight like you would if it was the half length, you get. So you have to go from the two sides, then put your tape rule into the pockets of the breasts. Make sure to measure everything, then now deduct the allowance from it, so that you can now know what to mark. Now that I've marked it, I can now have a guideline to sew on. So I'm just going to sew it, on both sides, then turn it over and cross-check the measurements again to make sure that what I measured, when it was inside is still what is, still represented outside. So it's just a way to just make sure that you are not making a mistake.
There's no time to be scared.
The next thing now is to focus on the shoulder. So I'm just gonna make sure that everything aligns, clean it all out with my hands, as much as I can use the iron. It's just, quicker to just clean it all out with my hands, and then go ahead to measure out my shoulder. So now, because of the type of sleeve that I added to this gown, if you notice, it was a puff sleeve and all, I reduced my shoulder actually by 2 inches. Ideally my shoulder width is 15 inches, but I reduced it by 2 inches because I wanted that shoulder area to be firm, and then my puff to like really really show off. So you can do that, or you can reduce it by an inch. Anyone is fine, or you can even leave it at 15 inches. But I just prefer for it to come, it should come at that bra strap point. I am like a singlet kind of, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, like a sleeveless part and then a whole huge puff, you know. So that's why I like it to be less than my actual shoulder, so that it settles in that crevice of like sleeveless, of the sleeveless part. Okay, I'm rambling, but you get what I mean. So, but of course you can always leave it at your 15 inches or whatever your measurement actually is, and then just go ahead. So now I'm just gonna retrim everything, and then that really is it for the princess. That's it. After this, you're done. It's just to join your sleeves, to join your waist, the skirts, everything else. Really, we are done. So yeah, so now that we have come to the end of this, I just want to appreciate you guys so much for always coming and joining me on this. It's been really really insightful to actually know that I can do something other than just sit down at home. So, sit down in my very new studio, because I'm working on that. So my new studio is coming in soon. You guys might not really notice because it will still be the top of my sewing machine you would see, but maybe I'll show you guys. I'll do a vlog on everything that I've been working on. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me and helping me learn, asking me questions, keeping me accountable. It's been really fun doing this, and I hope to do this for many, many more years and months to come. You guys make me enjoy what I'm doing. Thank you so much. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that now. As I trim out the armhole and reshape everything I'm doing, you can just take this time to like and share and subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. Interact with me, let me know that I'm not doing it alone. And for the new guys, thank you so much for staying to the end. I'm so grateful. Thank you for even seeing what I'm doing, safe, like just even being curious about me. Thank you. And that is it. Catch you in my next video. The next video should be a skirt. It's a skirt tutorial, and I'm gonna talk about how to align both dots. A subscriber asked me for that, so I will make sure to do that in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.